Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I'm out here in my car. I'm actually getting ready to walk in to get ready for a matinee performance of The Wizard of Oz, where I'm playing in a pit orchestra, and then I got a performance tonight as well. So I won't be home to film any Texas Gun Vault content, but I did want to come to you guys with a quick video and kind of an addendum to yesterday's video, where I talked about the whole controversy with Ken Hackathorn and the F word, the FUD word. And we had a great conversation in the comments yesterday, and it got me thinking about one commenter had talked about the elitist tone that Ken Hackathorn had in that interview, where he was talking about how normal civilians don't need weapons-mounted lights for self-defense. And of course, a lot of people got on his case saying he's a FUD, he's an elitist. How dare you say that me as a civilian shouldn't have the same equipment or shouldn't carry the same equipment as military and law enforcement? And of course, that is a valid question. And of course, I talked about how I felt depending on your situation, you should do whatever you want. If you want a light, great. Here are the pros and cons. If you don't want a light, here are the pros and cons. You make your own decision. I honestly don't care, and I don't look at somebody that puts a weapons-mounted light on their gun as trying to be anything more than what they claim to be. Like, I talked about how I am not one of those tactical operators, nor do I think that I am, but I think I have guns set up for people that would be to be very successful in the type of shooting that they want to do. But I want those items not because I will need them, but because I want them. But getting back to the whole thing about the elitist attitude, it got me thinking about other people in the gun community, especially like the big names, and maybe some people that have either gotten in trouble or have had the community turn on them, and why. I talk about on both of my channels often, you should never have GunTube heroes. And it's for a number of different reasons. It's both for you and for the content creator. So from your perspective, don't have a hero, because somebody may say something that is controversial, and then you end up having to defend them, or by the fact that you do defend them makes you look silly, because now you're stuck because whoever person X is, they're the greatest ever. If they say this, it must be true, and I will defend them to the end. And then you look silly, and you're actually getting wrong information that doesn't help you or whatever. But also from the creator standpoint, I think that it hurts them because it inflates their sense of self-worth and ego. So let's talk about a couple of people that I think have fallen victim to this. And I'm curious what you guys think, because if you would have talked about Ken Hackathorn 3 months ago, okay, and asked people that knew who he was, knew his relationship with tactical training, his thoughts and videos on weapons and that kind of stuff, most people that I think were aware of him and knew him would say he's outstanding. He is an icon of the gun world. You need to listen to every word he says. He is brilliant. He's amazing. And then he comes out with this one video, and all of a sudden, he's a FUD. He's a traitor. He's an elitist, right? But think about videos and comments that he gets from his perspective. So he puts out a video, and for years and years and years and years, whether he goes to SHOT Show, he goes to a gun show, he meets people, he works with other content creators, everybody bows down to him and go, "You are a god, you are amazing, I believe everything you say." Well, what does that do to his mentality? He begins to think, I am the definitive authority on these issues. What I say holds more weight than anybody else, and you cannot question me. So then, because they're so used to this hero worship from the gun community, they feel that they can do no wrong. And because they're a human being, they are going to do wrong. They're going to say wrong things. They're whatever, because they're human beings. They're going to let you down. And then because of their own ego, because of their own perception of themselves, they really step in it. Now, another person that I believe is a victim of this would be Larry Vickers, okay? Someone that actually has worked with Ken Hackathorn in the past. You guys know about the big drama a few months ago about Larry Vickers. If you would have talked to most people a year ago and asked them about Larry Vickers, oh, he is the authoritative sort. He was Delta Force. He knows so much about guns. He builds guns. He's the best. If he says anything about guns, you need to listen. It's the way, you know? And then all of a sudden it turns out that he got into a lot of trouble with the ATF and importation. And why? Because he thought he was above everybody else. He thought the rules of the NFA and the importation stuff and SOTs and machine gun collecting didn't apply to him. Why? Most likely it's because everywhere he goes, he's worshipped as a god. You know, one thing that many people in the gun community can say that immediately I will assume the person that says this knows nothing about guns and is of lesser intelligence and doesn't think through what they really want to say. And one of those, and that saying that they'll go is, especially when you start talking about machine guns, they're going to go, if they want to ban machine guns, they need to ban Jerry Michulik's finger, you know, or they would say that about like bump stocks. You know, how could they ban bump stocks if they're not going to ban Jerry Michulik's finger? Okay, he can shoot fast, okay? But what does that do to Jerry Michulik? Now, first off, I know he's an outstanding shooter, okay? Way better than anybody watching this video, including myself, right? Way better. But everywhere he goes, people talk about how fast he can shoot a gun. So what do you think that does to his ego? He's a human being. I'm just saying, but because people say that to him, they feed the problem. Now, I'm not saying Jerry Michulik has done anything wrong or any of that. Of course not. But when people say that kind of thing, I look at that and I just kind of roll my eyes and go, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. Now, another person going into a major legal issue is Matt Hoover. Now, I've made some videos on Matt Hoover and talked about the issues with him. I think one of the reasons that Matt Hoover got in trouble, not because of the auto key card, okay, but it was because of the way that he defended himself in the videos he put out. I've talked about this before in the past, right? Where he poked the bear, and people will get on me. He should be allowed to do that. He has freedom of speech. I get it, right? But the world's not fair, right? I have freedom of speech, but I do not go out in front of an elementary school and scream profanities on the public sidewalk. It is my freedom of speech, right? I should be allowed to do that, but a rational and reasonable person would go, yeah, you're right, but just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? It's the same thing with Matt Hoover. But look at all the videos Matt Hoover made, including the videos that his wife makes today. He's still hero worshipped. People in those comment sections egged him on. Oh yeah, you're awesome, you're this, you're gonna win, blah, blah, blah. And that's why he would walk into court dressed like a slob, right? He had suits that didn't fit him, ties that weren't properly, tied. He had a backwards hat going into court for his own defense and going, I'm gonna slap the ATF down. Why was he saying that? Was it because that was sound legal advice from his attorney? No, but it's because he had thousands of people hero worshiping him on his social media, telling him how he's a hero, how he's going to win, how he's this, and he partially believed the lies. And so the hero worship of Matt Hoover and the people wanting to defend him hurt him. So the people that hero worship in the gun world hurt themselves and they hurt content creators. It's good. I'm not saying you shouldn't like people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't follow people or have your favorites or any of that. But what I'm saying is never look at any content creator as infallible or as a demigod or as the authoritative source on anything. Now, a lot of people would say, for example, Robski of the AK-47-74 Operators Union is the definitive source on AK-47s. Okay, I fully admit he knows a lot about AKs, okay? A lot about AKs. And I do recommend going and seeing what he has to say about certain aspects of AKs, right? But he's not the definitive and sole authority on AKs. And the people that think he is are making a huge error in judgment. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm curious what you guys have to say about hero worship, and do you think any of that hero worship played into the downfall of these content creators, and more specifically recently of Ken Hackathorn? So that's my thoughts. Just a quick little car video here today. So let me know what you guys think, and you understand where I'm coming from. So what's the word of the day? The word of the day is hero, because I'm recommending you don't have GunTube heroes. So hero is the word of the day if you made it to the end. So I look forward to our awesome discussion as always, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And I got to go play some music. So, as always, thanks for watching.